So listen, before we begin, brothers, sisters, inshallah, may Allah bless all of you for the efforts, the jihad that you waged, that you made coming consistently, all of the people that are here, inshallah. I have to make mention of this, especially for you younger brothers, 18, 19, you're the majority of the people in this class. You know, when you're sitting in front of me and you have your feet out, I say put your feet in. I know you don't mean to do it out of disrespect, and I always tell you to do that so you'll learn the etiquettes of the masjid. Not just for me, but when you go in another masjid, wherever you learn it from someone, you know how to sit. All of you heard of the Hadith of Jabril, salawatullahi wassalamu alayhi, when he came to the Prophet sallam, and his hair was exceedingly black, and his foe was exceedingly white. And he came down and he sat with the Prophet, to the Prophet. How did he sit to the Prophet? How did he sit?
Sat close to him.
Yeah, but how? What did he do? Huh?
Is it like that position?
He was sitting just like he's sitting, like you're sitting at the Tashahhud. This is how he was sitting. Rasulullah was sitting like that, and Jabril was sitting like that. And Jabril put his knees to the knees of Rasulullah, close. And after all of that hadith, he said, do you know who that was? He asked Umar, do you know who that was who came and asked those questions? What is Iman? What is Islam? Al-Iman, Al-Ihsan, Yawm Al-Qiyamah, what's the signs? He said, Allah and His Messenger know best. He said, that was Jabril. He came to teach you your religion. So the way Jabril came, he had nice clothes on, clean clothes. His hair was, taken care of. And he sat with adab. So now when I tell you guys, don't sit like that, it's not to give you a hard time. It's so that you will learn. This is the etiquette of the masjid. Second thing is, in that hadith of Jabril, his clothes were exceedingly white and his hair was exceedingly black. That goes to show when you come to the masjid especially, you should have nice clothes. Shouldn't be a bum. Now, I'm not going to make it difficult. Nice is different to different people. But your clothes should be clean. You shouldn't be a bum. So now, my brother over here, what's your name again? Abdullah, one of my favorite students. But I want to make this clear to you. If Abdullah was in his house, no problem, be in your house like that. But in the masjid, this is not a good way to come. Now, I don't want Abdullah to be embarrassed. You know you're my man. Do you doubt if I love you, Abdullah? I ask you by Allah. Billah. Do you believe I love you? I don't love you. Wallahi, I got love for you, young man. Like you. You're my son. All of you, I got love for you. And if I didn't love you, I just let you do what you want to do. So when you come to the masjid, you should have your knees covered. You shouldn't come with a vest. You know the Nike shirt? I would make a big deal out of Nike. You know, some people say, Nike, haram. I'm not going to make a big deal out of that. Because your arms are covered. Although you have that Nike, your arms are covered. But having your knees not covered, can't pray like that. Alright? So you guys, inshallah azawajal, I just wanted to say that at the beginning. Now, as for the class, we are going to continue from the last class. And the reason why we're going to continue from the last class is because those brothers reached out to me. Lameen, Abu Rayyan, what's that other brother from, what's his name? Imran. They were saying, oh, don't start the Nawaqid class because there are only 10 Nawaqid. It's not a lot. As for this book, there's a lot to go through. Although we're going to jump over a lot, we're not going to do everything. But the Nawaqid doesn't have a lot, so they asked me to delay that. So we're going to delay the Nawaqid and just take the next ayat from Kitabut Tauheed. But before we move on, I'm going to ask you questions. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, my man. From the aqsam of a Tauheed is Tauheed al-Rububiyyah. What is Tauheed al-Rububiyyah? What is that?
Believing in Rabb.
Believe that Allah has the right. Is the Rabb. Only the Rabb. That's it.
Mudabbir.
And He is the Mudabbir. What else?
Khaliq.
And He's the Khaliq. Good job. And there are ayat for that. What's a dalil that Allah is the Rabb for Tawheed al-Rububiyyah? What's one dalil?
Qul huwallahu.
You're close though.
Alhamdu lillahi rabbil alamin.
Rabbil Alameen. Qul a'udhu bi Rabbil Falaq. All of that. Now my question is, if a person believes in the Tawheed of the Rububiyyah of Allah, is he a Muslim?
No.
He's not a Muslim. How do you know he's not a Muslim? What's the dalil? He's not a Muslim. He says, I believe Allah is my Rabb. I believe Allah is the Khaliq. I believe Allah is the Mudabbir. I believe nothing happens in this dunya except by Allah's will. He believes that. Is he a Muslim now? He's not. What's the proof? All right, listen up. Go ahead, Abdullah. Iblis believed that Allah is the Rabb. Iblis said, "Ni akhafullah." I'm afraid of Allah. He believed in Allah. He believed in Allah. He made dua to Allah. Oh Lord, my Lord, give me time, give me respite, because I'm going to make them go astray. He made dua to Allah. Yawm al-Qiyamah, Iblis has no doubt that Allah is the Lord. As a matter of fact, Iblis was a good creation before Adam was created. Iblis was a good creation before Adam was created. But when Allah created Adam, his fitness started at that point. Some of the scholars, no dalil for this, so don't believe it, don't disbelieve it. Some of the scholars of Islam said that when Allah ordered the Malaika to make sajda to Adam, they all bowed down except who? Iblis. So he was in Jannah. They said that Iblis was the only jinn, or one of the jinns, the leader of the jinns. He was in Jannah along with the Malaika. And that's why he didn't bow down. He was there with them. And Iblis has the ability to disobey. Just like who? Bani Adam. He could do it, we may not do it. As for the Malaika, can he disobey? No. So when Allah told them, bow down to Adam, all of the Malaika bowed down. Illa Iblis, Aba, wastakbara. He was refused, he was arrogant. Ayah said, وَكَانَ مِنَ الْجِنِّ فَفَسَقَ عَنْ أَمْرِ رَبِّهِ. He was bad guy. But before that, those scholars said he was in Jannah. Do we believe that? Do we believe it? This story I just told you. Do we believe this story? Huh? We don't believe this story, and we don't disbelieve the story, because it came through us through the narrations of the Israeliyat, the Yahud and the Nasara. It may be true, it may not be true, but it's not authentic, so we don't believe it and we don't disbelieve it. But the point is, Iblis, after he became a fasiq, fajr, mujrim, after he did all of that, kafir, after he did it, now he still believed in La ilaha illallah. He believed in it. What's another dalil, another proof that you don't become a Muslim because you believe in that? Yes?
Fir'aun believed that Allah.
Fir'aun believed in Allah. What's the dalil? You said it, believe that there's no God worthy of worship except the God that Harun and Musa believe in. What's another dalil? The kuffar, Quraysh. And if you ask them who created the heavens and the earth, they're going to say Allah, the kuffar. Kuffar. Prophet Muhammad, what's his father's name?
Abdullah.
So if his father was Abdullah, before he was a Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his father's Abdullah. So that means That means his grandfather, before Rasul, called his son Abdullah. What's that a proof of?
That they believed as
They
well.
knew Allah. Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, his father Mas'ud, called his son what?
Abdullah.
Abdullah. He wasn't a Muslim. My mother. The plane was going like this, and she thought it was gonna crash. She started saying, "Oh God, oh God." She did not say, "Oh Jesus." So it's not enough to believe in the Tauheed or Rububiyyah. It's a good thing, but it's not enough. Doesn't make you a Muslim. The second Tauheed is the Tauheed
Uluhiyyah.
al-Uluhiyyah. Tauheed al-Ibadah. This is the one that makes you a Muslim. It's for the person to recognize that Allah is alone in his ibadah. We don't do any ibadah to anybody else. So the ayah. What's the ayah, brother Amin? وَمَا خَلَقْتُ يرفع صوتك يا أخي. Okay. إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونِي. My man, what is ibadah? What is the ta'rif of al-ibadah?
Is it worshipping Allah alone and not making partners?
That is what you do in your ibadah, Tawheed and Ubudiyyah. You worship Allah alone. But the ta'rif of ibadah, worship. Christians and Jews think worship is praying, that's it. Is that the only worship in Islam? Just to pray? Going around the tawaf of the Kaaba, that's it? No, it's more ibadah. You're sitting here is ibadah. Your mother cooking your food is ibadah. What is the ta'rif of ibadah? Yes.
The ibadah, the worship you do inside, internally and externally, which pleases Allah. You do it for Allah's sake only.
The actions, ibadah, اسم جامع لكل ما يحبه الله ويرضاه من الأقوال والأفعال الظاهرة والباطنة. Give me an example of an action that is batin. It's an inside. It's not apparent. Al-khawf min Allah. It's ibadah. Give me another example. You can't see the ibadah, but you're doing it. But Allah loves it. Give me an example. Yes. Fasting. Can you see if someone's fasting? No. Give me another example. Tawakkul.
Shyness.
Shyness. Al-haya.
حسن الظن.
Huh?
حسن الظن.
حسن الظن. Al-raja. Al-sabr. All of that. Give me an example of ibadah that you can see.
Going around
Tawaf around the Kaaba.
giving zakah.
Giving zakat.
Pray.
You know that hadith, somebody just said haya. That includes both of them. The Prophet said, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, look at this hadith. This is an important hadith to get this hadith. He said, al-iman بدع والسبعون شعبة أعلاها قول لا إله إلا الله أدناها إماتة الأذى عن الطريق والحياة شعبة من الإيمان. Listen to this. He said faith is 70 different branches. The highest level of faith is what? Saying ibadah. From the actions and the statements that are out loud and they're hidden. So the person who says La ilaha illallah, that's ibadah, making dhikr. And he said the highest, La ilaha. The lowest is what? The lowest branch of faith is what? Taking something. Do you see him picking it up and taking it off the street?
Yeah.
That's ibadah. Ibadah. All he's doing is taking glass and getting it off the street. Kuffar don't see that as ibadah. Ibadah to them is when you put. Islam is more than that. As a father, I work, I bring the food home. That's ibadah. The mother cooks it. That's ibadah. The kids eat it and they say, Jazakillahu khaira ummi. They put their plates in the sink is ibadah. Allah loves all of that. So don't be sitting losing opportunities. We have to get this masjid cleaned on Thursday. So when you come in, you hoover, is that ibadah?
Yes.
Not only is that ibadah, but it's from the best ibadah because you're benefiting others. So many people come to the masjid and they just pray and they leave. And that's good. But ibadah is all of that. You guys got that? إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونِ. The ayat went on to say, مَا أُرِيدُ مِنْهُمْ مِنْ رِزْقٍ وَمَا أُرِيدُهُمْ أَنْ يُطْعِمُونَ. Allah said, I don't want them to feed me. I don't want them to pay me. I don't want them to feed me. So the reason why Allah created us was for what?
Worship Allah.
Does that mean you have to pray all day?
No.
No playing around? How can playing basketball be ibadah? How can playing basketball be ibadah? Yes.
You're looking after your body.
You're looking after your body to make you strong. The movement of qawi. The one who is strong is better and more beloved. He's gonna stay in shape, take care of the amana. How can basketball be ibadah?
You'll be more healthy, and so you can stand longer.
Same thing, that's his cousin, same thing. Yandarij tahti, same thing. Yuridu jadid, yeah. What else? How can basketball, playing over here basketball, how can that be ibadah?
You could use it like kind of tactic and not have you
Huh? Hey, what? Listen, I tell you many ways. Hey guys, open up your minds. It can be ibadah in that when you guys play together, you're protecting the akhuwah of al-Islam. You're brothers. And that's why you shouldn't be fighting out there. Especially if you play against the non-Muslims, you're going to be like, yo, we're going to beat them. And you got to cooperate and have the brotherhood. Your brother play back, he fall down, we all go and say, you all right? You all right? That's ibadah. That's ibadah. That if you go to play basketball to be cool and tight with each other, that's ibadah in our religion. And you're having a good time. Another way of ibadah is when you're playing and you get mad, someone fouled you, someone hit you, and you want to curse. Because I was walking by, yes, I know. So he wants to swear with them bad words. But he says, no, I'm not going to do that. That's ibadah, because he's stopping himself. Or if someone curse, the person says, hey, don't curse, that's haram. Give me an example how basketball can be ibadah.
You could give dawah to the
You
non-Muslims.
can give dawah, guys. Hey, do you remember we walked up that thing and that lady was there? And you guys said, what to that lady? We want to thank you what you do for the community. That's ibadah, guys. And every time those guards see you coming and going, they say, those are the kids of the masjid. All right, anyway. So Allah doesn't want any risk from us, and He doesn't want us to feed Him. Now listen, in the story of Ibrahim broke the gods that they were worshiping, except the big one, and He put the axe around it. When the people came back, they saw the gods, the idols broken. They said, what happened to our gods? They said, we heard Ibrahim talking about it. They went to Ibrahim and said, Ibrahim, you did that to our gods? He said, I didn't do it. Ask the big one. They said, you know he can't talk. That's important. He can't talk means he doesn't deserve to be worshipped. There was a companion, he was a non-Muslim in Mecca. He made his own idol. He made his idol out of dates. Out of dates. He made like a image, and it was made out of dates. And he became a Muslim. After Salatul Fajr, Rasulullah says, Salaam alaikum wa rahmatullah, Salaam alaikum wa rahmatullah. Then he turned towards the community, that's his sunnah. And then sometimes the companions would start talking about what happened in Jahiliyyah. And sometimes they would say funny things, and Rasulullah would smile, showing he had a sense of humor. He wasn't always rough and tough. So one of the companions said, Ya Rasulullah, in Jahiliyyah, I used to have an idol just for me and my family. He said I would put and add dates to it, and one time, anytime I got hungry, I just eat them. I eat some of them. Rasulullah started smiling, and the people started smiling. So the point is, how are you going to worship a God that instead of Him feeding you, you have to feed Him, you have to protect Him? No. Allah doesn't want from us a ta'am and it'am, and He doesn't want from us a rizq. All right, let's go to the next ayah. The next ayah is the statement of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَلَقَدْ بَعَثْنَا فِي كُلِّ أُمَّةٍ رَسُولًا أَنِ اعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ وَاجْتَنِبُوا الطَّاغُوتَ وَاجْتَنِبُوا الطَّاغُوتَ وَلَقَدْ بَعَثْنَا فِي كُلِّ أُمَّةٍ رَسُولًا أَنِ اعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ وَاجْتَنِبُوا الطَّاغُوتَ. Did you memorize that ayah? Did you memorize that ayah?
I never heard it before.
Did you memorize the ayah? Did you memorize it? Did you memorize it? Can you read for us the half of the ayah?
ولقد بعثنا في كل أمة رسولا أن اعبدوا الله واجتنبوا الطاغوت.
Translate it for us.
We sent to every nation a prophet to tell them to worship Allah and avoid the devil.
Allah sent to every nation a prophet, and the prophet came to his people and said, worship Allah alone and don't worship the Tauheed. This is another ayah that shows the importance of the Tauheed. Where is the importance of Tauheed in this ayah?
Worship Allah alone.
Explain. And we sent to every ummah a Rasul. And the Rasul said to his people, worship Allah and don't worship anyone, anything other than Allah. Yes.
أن اعبدوا الله.
Yeah, but explain to me, where is the dalil?
It says أن اعبدوا الله واجتنبوا الطاغوت. Worship Allah. I forget the other.
It goes to show, guys, that every single prophet came. Did every single prophet, the question, did every single prophet tell his people about Obama?
No.
Did every single prophet tell his people about Afghanistan?
No.
Did every single prophet tell his people about the atomic bomb?
No.
Did every single prophet tell the people about a Jannah,
Yes.
a Nar?
Yes.
Yeah.
Did every single prophet tell his people about worshiping Allah?
Yes.
Yes.
So it goes to show the importance. That every prophet said, worship Allah alone and nothing else. That was the core dawah of everybody. That's why he brought this ayah. And disbelieve in the Tauheed. Anybody know what the Tauheed is?
The false gods.
False God. As you gonna say?
Yeah.
Tauheed is everything that is worshipped. Listen. At-Thahabi means many things. Egypt with Tauheed. The Tauheed is everything that is worshipped along with Allah is a Tauheed. Worship Allah, wajtanibu Tauheed. And this wajtanib and ijtinab means to stay away. Allah could have said, don't worship, but he didn't say that. He said, stay away, which is even more clear. Stay away from it. He didn't say don't worship, he said stay away. So if you can't be by it, then you can't worship it. So the Tauheed is everything that is worshipped other than Allah. Now I'm going to ask you this question, inshallah. The Tauheed is everything that is worshipped other than Allah. But is Isa ibn Maryam, is he worshipped along with Allah? Do people worship like Isa?
Yeah.
Is he a Tauheed?
No.
No, why not?
Because he didn't ask to be worshipped.
Good job, my brother. Good job. Pay attention to that. A Tauheed comes from the word tughyan. Someone hit you and you come and you punch him in his head and you knock him out. That's tughyan. You went overboard. That's too much what you did. Tauheed comes from that. Tughyan. To go overboard. Fir'aun. Tagha. Fir'aun was going overboard. Now listen, everything that is worshipped along with Allah is Tauheed, but if it is a prophet and a messenger, he's not a Tauheed. If it is a righteous person, is he a Tauheed? No. If the person is not asking people to worship him, he's not a Tauheed. And Allah is going to free that person from them Yawm al-Qiyamah. What's the dalil for that?
About what?
Good job. If you see those people who followed, the ones who were followed, and then the ones who were followed are going to free themselves from them Yawm al-Qiyamah. Ain't got nothing to do with you. We didn't ask you to do that. What's another dalil? Good job.
Uh,
Yes.
So in their judgment, Isa ibn Maryam was
Good job.
I'm free from them.
يا عيسى ابن مريم أنت قلت للناس اتخذوني وأمي إلهين من دون الله. He's gonna say Subhanaka. I didn't say that. They're lying. The sun, people worship the sun, right?
Yeah.
Is the sun a Tauheed?
No.
No. Sun never asked anybody to worship them. The sun is gonna free itself from all of that. Everything that's worship, yes.
How about inanimate objects? They didn't ask for it either.
Well, inanimate objects, Yawm al-Qiyamah won't have anything to say or do because they have no soul, anything like that. But these things will come and bear witness against people, Yawm al-Qiyamah, for or against. Like this masjid will bear witness that you pray here, you pray there, you pray there. What's that surah again? إذا زلزلت الأرض زلزالها وأخرجت الأرض أثقالها وقال الإنسان ما لها يومئذ تحدث أخبارها. It'll talk about his business. What's that other ayah that the person will say about his body? And the body will say أنطقنا الذي أنطق كل شيء.
وقالوا لجلودهم لما شهدتم عليهم.
Yeah. They will say to their skin, why are you telling on us? And the skin will say, we would give them the ability to talk by Allah on this day. So these things will bear witness against it for people. And it'll free itself if it wasn't getting worship. So that's important. All right? So we're going to stop there. It's 45 minutes. We're going to stop there. You guys have any questions? Any more questions? I want you to memorize this ayah, all right? In Surah Al-Nahl. Anybody know what Nahl means?
Ant.
B.
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 Namil.
I said B.
B.
Ayah number 36.
Let's guess what
But you guys did good. You guys did good. You going to memorize it, brother?
Sheikh, we're going to talk about the stories of the prophets.
Yeah, it's coming up, man. All of that.
When?
I told them we want to do a class just about that. If you guys decide what class you want to do that day. But
Sure.
don't get tired of this.
Sure.
You guys having the right aqeedah is important, brother. Because some of you guys want to just sit and hear stories. And then Ibrahim, Musa, the danger of death came and he punched him in his eye, and you say, oh, really? Because that was happening. And we love those stories. But part of the religion is other than that. Okay, guys? Inshallah. Let me get on it. Assalamu alaikum. Where you guys get ready to go?
غرباء 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 غرباء